Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/Tales from Retail. And today we have prepared a new portion of interesting stories about crazy people. But before we start, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. And our first story. Didn't stay open for her. I worked in retail for 12 years, and I have a few stories to tell of my adventures. Here's one of them. From 2010 to 2013, I was the supervisor/assistant manager of a small suitcase shop at the far end of a big shopping center in the middle of the city. The shopping center was open till late on weekends, although it was usually pretty dead for us in the evenings. We were obliged to stay open until the center itself closed. For this reason, most evenings we only had one staff member working. On this particular evening, I was the lone worker. About an hour before closing, a lady came into the store wanting to buy a suitcase. Let's call her Karen. The sale passed without incident. I helped Karen choose a case, which she happily bought. By this time, it was 45 minutes until closing. She told me that she had some more shopping to do in the center, so asked if she could leave the case with me to collect later. This was a service we offered. We understood that nobody wants to carry a suitcase around with them while shopping, so I dutifully put her details on it and placed it behind the till. I warned her that the store would be closing in 45 minutes' time, so she'd need to collect it either before then or tomorrow. Flash forward 30 minutes, no sign of her. I poked my head out of the shop onto the concourse, but couldn't see her anywhere. I started shutting down the store, getting things ready for closing. 5 minutes to closing time, Karen still nowhere to be seen. Then when the hour rolled over, she still hadn't reappeared. Again, I looked out into the concourse, but no one was there. So I closed up the shop and started counting the tills and doing the end-of-day banking. Most of the end-of-day banking was done in the back office, but I left the store front lights on so that if she did reappear, she would know I'm still in the store. I should also note that I only got paid up until the store closed, so all the end-of-day banking and other jobs were effectively on my own time. I left the store at about 15 minutes after closing time, turning off the lights and rolling the shutters down. Still no sign of Karen. The shopping center had a 24-hour supermarket attached to it, so it just so happened that I needed to buy some things for home, including my meal for the evening. After locking up, I headed straight to the supermarket. After about maybe 20 minutes in there, I was headed to the tills to pay, and who should I see storming towards me, face like thunder? It's Karen. She unleashed her fury upon me. How dare I lock up the store with her purchases still inside? It was illegal to keep her purchase from her. It was theft. She was going to call the police. I'm sure you can imagine the sort of stuff she was shouting at me for having the audacity to lock up and go home at the appointed time and not wait an unknown amount of time for her to return. All the while, she was shouting at me, and this alerted the staff to her tirade. The staff at the supermarket called the center security. When they appeared, they talked to her, and she started shouting at them about me, about how I should be fired, and that I had stolen off of her. I explained to them my side of the story. Thankfully, they knew me and knew that she was being ridiculous. They marched her and me to the store where I opened up, got her suitcase for her, and she was then banned for life from the shopping center. She left the building after being escorted to the exit and walked away, still hurling abuse towards us about how she was going to the media about this and how we should all be fired. I never saw her again, and the security guards checked up on me the next day to make sure I was okay. And our second story. Why closed registers need to stay closed. During this time, I'm working in the men's department in my store. Typically, because of the lack of foot traffic in the department, its registers stay closed. Now the registers are blocked off and have signs stating they're closed and to head to another department. But no one reads. So I end up having to tell nearly everyone who stands there obliviously that it's closed. At this point, me and my manager are setting up signature assortments for 4th of July when I see an old couple walk up to the terminal. OL is old lady, me is me. Giving an internal exasperated sigh, I tell them it's closed. OL, angry sigh. Where are we supposed to go then? He has bad knees and can't walk that far. Now I'm all for opening the terminal for the sake of customer service, but the attitude she starts giving off ticks me off. I give a quick look to my manager who's looking to see what I'm going to do. I can open the register for you. Thank you. Setting the business date and counting up the starting float, I check them out. Not wanting to get off task too long, I silently pray that no one else gets in line. Next thing I know, I get a line of customers. FML. Next customer comes up. She wants to split her transaction to use both her coupons. That's fine. It's time-consuming to do so, but it's fine. I get through the second lady fine, but instead of leaving immediately, she sticks around to look for her keys in her purse, blocking the ability for another person to check out. I ask if she could move so I could take someone else, and she exclaims she needs to empty her purse to look for her keys. I wait 5 minutes hoping she finds them quick, but quickly lose patience with the building line of customers. I move over to another terminal and open it. By this point, all 4 terminals are open with associates from other departments manning them to quell the building line, except one new guy that I'm training, to which I'll mention never got an assigned associate number for the terminal. Not his fault, but it only adds to the frustration as he needs help getting set up while I take customers. FML. Cue difficult customer number 3. Rudely she states, "Are you open?" Me, "Yes, ma'am." "Are you sure?" Me, internally, "You can walk your butt to another register if you keep up with that attitude." "Yes, ma'am." She's buying a pair of sunglasses and they come to about $14. She pays with $100. Meanwhile, I only have $100 in 5s, 1s, and a 10. FML. "Do you have any 50s to give me?" "No, ma'am, I only have small bills." "Okay," and she still paid with the $100 bill. Great. Now I'm going to get cleaned out. I get all my 10s, all my 5s, and most of my 1s and give her the change. "Oh, that's a lot of change. Don't you have anything bigger?" "No, ma'am." "Can't you get some bigger bills from there?" She points to my coworker's register. "No, ma'am, that would cause a variance." "Okay, I'll pay with my card then. I'm not taking that much change." And she pushed her change towards me. Are you effing kidding me? Me, "I already processed the purchase, miss. I'll have to return it." "Oh, okay." One return and a purchase later, and all the customers are gone. I'm stuck with closing all the terminals. I need a drink. And our next story. "No, Patrick, push start." I work at self-checkout. 90% of the time, if you just follow the instructions on the screen, you'll be fine. But most people don't do this, so I often end up having to walk them through it. This is what happened today, just a couple hours ago. I'm going to describe it pretty much word for word. Woman, "I don't know what to do." Me, "Okay, no problem. First push start." Woman stares at the screen, currently a mostly white background with our store name and a button the size of your fist saying start. Just push start. Push start. Push start. She pulls out her rewards card. You have to push start first. She starts trying to shove her rewards card into the cash slot. Here? Me, pointing at the start button. Push the button that says start. She then pushes start. Me, pointing to the scanner. Okay, you can scan your card here. Where? Here. She scans her card. Okay, now scan the blueberries. Was her only item. She scans the blueberries and bags them somehow without any issues. Now hit pay for my order. She starts trying to put cash in the cash slot. Hit the big red button on the screen. She pushes pay for my order. Now the machine asks her to scan any coupons. There are 2 buttons on the screen, one saying done and the other saying coupon problem. Hitting done takes you to the payment screen, and hitting coupon problem prompts you to give any coupons to me. It also locks up the register until I reset it from my terminal. Me. Okay, now push done. Woman keeps trying to put money in the cash slot. Why isn't it taking it? Push done. She stares at the screen. Push done. Push done. I say push done probably 4 or 5 more times. Then she presses coupon problem. Register freezes up. Woman. Oh, done. So at this point, I just can't do this anymore, so I go to my terminal, clear her machine, then go over to her, just do it for her. I push done, then cash, then point as close as possible, literally touching it at the cash slot saying, okay, now put your cash in here. So finally she paid and left, leaving me to wonder how people like this even manage to get to our store. I read the title and figured this would somehow be SpongeBob related. Was not disappointed. And our last story. What about the candy your kid put in his pocket? I just remembered an old story from when I worked at a grocery store. I was a cashier and a woman came through my line with her 2 children. The girl was smaller than the boy, and the boy was tormenting her as a result, hitting her, poking her, pulling at her, just bothering her basically. Now to her credit, she never hit him or poked him back, instead just yelled at him to stop. The mom was basically doing that monotone, cut it out, stop it, that extremely checked out moms have perfected. Pretty par for the course at this point, except as mom is putting up the groceries, her son takes a pack of candy. I think it was some kind of Hershey's chocolate, and sticks it in his pocket. When he sees me watching, he smirks at me and sticks out his tongue, so of course, game on. I put on my cheery retail smile and start scanning. As the order flies by, the kid starts to look around and get bored. I guess he thought he got away with it. I wait until the very end, and as the woman pulls out her card to pay, I smile and say, "How about the candy as well?" This kid's head spins around from looking at the end of the register, and he gives me the most incredulous expression. The mother looks at me and says, "What candy?" Looking in her son's eyes the whole time, I say, "The candy your son stuck in his pocket earlier." This woman goes from 0 to 100 in 1 second flat. She spins around and starts screaming at her son, waving her arms, just flipping out, and spanked him. The kid's freaking out. The little sister's just looking on with the most satisfied expression I've ever seen. She pays and hauls him out of the store. Candy bar at the edge of the register as an homage to the craziness that just occurred. As horrible as I feel about that kid getting spanked, I hope it makes him think twice before acting like such a little jerk again. You know, it's good to read a story where the mother doesn't automatically defend her kid once in a while. Good on her for her parenting, even if she was haggard from the kids. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.